All right, my friends, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name is Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. I've got some stuff on my mind today just in regards to borderline personality disorder, high conflict borderline moms. I know a lot of you are kind of here for this content. And I feel like these topics are important. Frankly, I try to deliver things as truthfully and as honestly as I can. I just don't find any value in sugarcoating things or padding things. There's just a lot of harsh realities when it comes to parenting, trying to co-parent, divorcing, custody with cluster Bs, with those who have a cluster B personality disorder. And I do my best, and I mean this sincerely. I do my best to have some level of empathy and compassion for them. I really do. May not seem like it, but I honestly have more compassion and more empathy for the children and the kids who are just they're powerless. They're powerless against these destructive parents. I know that I talk a lot about high conflict borderline moms, especially. Frankly, I encounter these more often, and here's my theory as to why I encounter high conflict borderline moms versus like high conflict narcissistic dads, right? Because borderline occurs more frequently in females, and narcissism occurs more frequently in males. Both I find can be extremely destructive, especially to their kids. But here's why I believe that I encounter more high conflict borderline moms versus high conflict narcissistic dads. And that is that the high conflict narcissistic dads create a paralysis level of fear in their spouses, their ex-spouses, their children. They are he has somehow managed to, and I talked about this in another video. He has managed to insert himself into their psychology to the extent that they are terrified of him. And not that he's ever physically harmed them, not that he's ever physically harmed anybody, not that he's even necessarily dangerous, but man, there's just something about him. The high conflict narcissistic dads are able to create this intense, and I mean super intense fear in people. And I tell you, man, if you can see through that fear, and really like hold your ground with them, I'm telling you, they fold like lawn chairs. I've stopped being afraid of them. When it comes to the HCBMs, the high conflict borderline moms, this video is primarily about that. I'm going to talk here to the guys mostly about being married to these types, divorcing these types, and something that is important for you to understand and expect. Okay. And hang on, I gotta take the gloves off. I only know how to be honest, guys. I'm gonna deliver this with as much tact and compassion as empathy, and as much empathy as I know how. Frankly, there's a couple of points that I'm gonna hit on here. One is that you can expect her, no matter what you do, whether you stay married to her, whether you divorce her, whether you bend over backwards to try and please her and give her everything that she ever asked for or ever wants or ever has wanted or says that she wants, you can expect her to tell people at some point or another that you are abusive to her. I've seen this. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've seen this and encountered this over the years. She is going to tell people that you have abused her, psychologically or otherwise. She's going to tell people that you abused her. And if you divorce her, she will see it as a betrayal. She will tell people, basically, she'll try to portray herself more than likely that she is some sort of battered wife. She'll take they're notorious for taking on this victim stance, attempting to paint themselves as a victim. And the truth is, my friends, they can get on the internet and tell a very one-sided story, leave a whole bunch of details out, and claim that you, the husband or ex-husband, are abusive. And believe me, the internet will trip over themselves to fawn over her and validate her, and you will be painted as a villain and a monster. And I don't know. Well, I do think that there is a potential route that you can take so that does not happen. but frankly, it'll scare the absolute snotberries out of most of you. And because so here's kind of the difficult, hard truth that is difficult to deliver, and it has to do with codependency, guys. I hear a lot of you say that you love her, but to me, love is an equal thing where both sides are really contributing to it strongly. And frankly, when I hear most of you say that you love her, what I think you're not realizing probably is that you're codependent. And codependency is not love. Codependency is a clingy enmeshment, a frantic clinginess and enmeshment with somebody. And as though your identity has now rested upon this person, and if they move, you fall over. And that's kind of what codependency is like. That's what kind of codependency is about. If you extracted her, and you fall apart. Because you don't know how to be anything but this enabler and this codependent person. I'm sorry, I have a hard time getting there in terms of I love her. Again, love is when she reciprocates. Love is when she puts something into the relationship instead of demanding, and never, ever, ever being happy. And so the codependency thing usually kind of goes hand in hand with this. And so I see guys that they bend over backwards. I've even seen and encountered guys, they're divorced and they're still codependent. They're still enabling her. They're still enabling her bad behaviors, and she's still turning to them to find an enabler, and she finds it. And a lot of guys don't realize that they're doing it, right? They don't realize that they're still enabling her. And that's one of my hard, fast rules, especially when it comes to borderline personality disorder, is don't stop enabling her. If you're going to keep her sick. In fact, in many regards, you can very likely exacerbate the problem. You can make it worse. You can make the whole thing worse. You can make the dynamic worse. The dynamics of a codependency relationship has a tendency to just spin them out. When their disorder gets activated or triggered, and it just becomes a really big event, right? And codependency is marvelously effective at triggering them. It just is. There's a whole complicated dynamic here that I've spent years trying to unpack and unravel. I think it's interesting, if if not troubling, and even at times disturbing. I'm just being honest. But at the end of the day, guys, this is the sad and unfortunate truth. And I've seen it time and time again. I've seen these guys, they will bend over backwards. She says she wants to live in the Highlands of Scotland. Excuse me. So he pulls up the stakes. He uproots the whole life, the whole family, and takes her to the moors of Scotland to live. And she's still unhappy, right? And she's still blaming him, that it's his fault that she's not happy. She says that she wants to swim the English Channel. So he bends over backwards to get her swimming lessons and all of this. And then, she decides she doesn't want to swim the English Channel anymore, and he's working harder at it than she is, and she's still not happy. She decides that she wants to these big elaborate things that it's just like, where did you even come up with that? They come up with the most elaborate pie in the sky things, right? That she wants to raise silkworms and have a silk farm. And so you get busy researching silkworms and how to build a silk farm and how to produce silk and weave the silk and create just pure silk fabric. And she's already over it. It's too much effort for her, and you're still working at it. And then she turns around and tells everybody how abusive you are. I'm just saying, guys, I've seen this more times than I can ever count. That's just kind of seems to be how it goes. And frankly, it seems to be, again, I only know how to be honest. I apologize. I'm sorry, not sorry. It doesn't matter what lengths that you go to. It doesn't matter that you give her a credit card with no limit on it. It doesn't matter that you have removed any and every obstacle from her life that causes any kind of challenge or difficulty for her. You've padded everything. Her life is as easy and effortless as possible. She will still turn around and tell people that you have abused her. And I'm sorry, guys, that just kind of comes with a disorder. Now, To me, you should not be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of it. And there are kind of some different ways to respond to this or not respond to it. I like option B better, not respond to it, not engage with it. Just roll with the punches, accept that this is just how it is, because most of you, right, you get busy explaining yourself and defending yourself as to why you're not abusive, and it looks like an admittance of guilt. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's guilty just from trying to defend your own honor, right? And so, my friends, I'm just kind of putting this out there. If you divorce her, she will tell people that you abused her. If she loses her temper and she throws things at you and picks things up and hits them with you, if she's closing her fists and punching you, and if you do this to defend yourself and you accidentally clip her in the chin when you're just defending yourself, she's going to call the cops and you're going to go away in handcuffs. And then she's going to tell everybody how abusive you are. And what I've learned about this particularly troubling disorder is that they cannot practice insight. It's painful to them. They hate it. They avoid it like it's going to kill them because of how painful it is. And so if they see something going on, right, let's say the kids are troubled, right, and they can't possibly think that, oh, it's because of anything I'm doing. They will never do that. It's too painful for them. And so because that whole territory is off limits, they go to the next logical conclusion, and it's you're the abuser, right? Or, right, their own distress is self-inflicted, because it is 100%. But they can in no way wise outwardly express, I am my own problem. My chaos and my destruction is on me, right? They don't take the responsibility for this. And so what is the next logical conclusion? Well, it must be you. You're the abuser. You abuse them. And understand, guys, that it's just a troubling disorder. It's a severe mental illness. It's an advanced mental illness. But be warned, and you just need to understand. I've seen that more than I can count. If she does not turn around, tell people that you abused her, you're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the lucky ones. Count yourselves lucky. I know you're out there. I know they exist. I know she hasn't done that to some of you, and I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I really am. I mean that. Anyway, so there's a little bit of just so you know with BPD, just so you know, and there's your forewarning. I've had a lot of people reach out to me over the years, want some consultation, want some coaching, and I do offer that. I offer the coaching for parenting, for high conflict co-parenting, parental alienation, all kinds of things. And so if you want to hire me, I do accept those. I do accept that work. I'll put my email in the description below, so reach out and email me. Or you can go check out my website, saltcitycounseling.com. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. I'm almost to 1,000. At the time of making this, I only need 19 more subscribers. Once I hit 1,000, I may be able to do some super chats and some live events. So please subscribe, share the video, like the video. You know what to do. Okay. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.